starter, backed up by his mates in the pen. Another defensive play for the Zimmerman highlight reel, and just enough runs from a patient offense to secure the win. Today, the ace takes the mound against the hard-hitting Marlins. A power-packed matchup from the most powerful city in the world. It's another gorgeous day at Nationals Park, and the Nats are on a roll, 7-2 on this homestand. Pups in the park today. You might say these are the dog days of April. 10 games in 10 days with one more left on the homestand. Tomorrow, Bob and FP, good afternoon. Good to have you with us. Day game after a night game. And as usual, when the pitching is what it has been lately, this ball club is just about unbeatable.
Yeah, a little address change today. Yesterday it was 48 K Street. Today it's 37 K Street with Steven Strasburg on the mound. And how about Ross Detweiler last night? 7 strikeouts. And then you hand it to this guy, and he's been fantastic this year. You remember last year, the last start of the season for Strasburg against the Marlins, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, and 10 strikeouts. That's the start that Steve McCatty said he couldn't get out of his head all winter long, and I think that's the big reason why Steven Strasburg was named the #1 starter on this ball club.
And by the way, Strasburg right now with his career ERA of around 2.35, one of the top 4 in baseball for rookie pitchers over the last 20 years. So he's 2-0 with a 142 his first 3 starts this year. And Anibal Sanchez, 7 career decisions against the Nats. He's won all 7 of those, but he started 17 times and 10 no decisions. So when he wins big.
Yeah, he's had good success against the Nationals in the past, but maybe he won with 5 runs of support before. Different staff that he's facing today. And one thing we're going to keep our eye on is Jason Worth. 27 at-bats off Sanchez, 18 strikeouts, and you got to give him some credit for wanting to be in the lineup today in day game after night game.
2.06 career ERA against the Nats. So what a day for families and what a day for baseball. 7-2 homestand, averaging nearly 25,000 fans. And here we go, game 2 against the Marlins. Park. So it's game 2 of this 3-game series. The Nats are now 11-4. They've won 9 of their last 11 games this year, and a game and a half up on Atlanta in the East. Visit Trane.com for an independent Trane comfort specialist dealer near you. Hard to stop a Trane. A little bit on the muggy side, 76 degrees. That's the spirit, and the Marlins and the Nats about to get it on. Miami 8th in the league in hitting and in runs. Gabby Sanchez always tough against the Nats. Not much damage last night, though. 0 for 3 with a walk. The Marlins managed only 4 hits. 3 against Ross Detwiler, 1 against Tyler Clippard, and shut down by the Washington pitching staff tonight. And will it happen again as Stephen Strasburg starts against the Marlins for the 5th time in his career?
He's coming off another solid start in Monday's 6-3 win over the Astros. He allowed 2 runs on 6 hits and 6 innings of work, struck out 5, walked 3 through 93 pitches, 61 for strikes. So the Marlins will see a 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, mid-90s from Strasburg, curveball, and a changeup that goes in the low 90s. Let's set the defense for the Nationals behind Stephen Strasburg today. Xavier Nady getting the start in left field. Rick Ankiel in center had a great game last night. Jason Worth in right. Day game after a night game. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinoza and Chad Tracy on the right side. Wilson Ramos doing the catching. And there he is, his first start of the year at first base, Chad Tracy.
Yeah, he's had 10 at-bats, 3 RBIs. He's never had a career hit against Anibal Sanchez, but a lot of guys can make that claim. And one of the keys to the win last night, the Nats kept Jose Reyes and Emilio Bonifacio off the bases 6 out of 8 times. Now, something's going on with Ryan Zimmerman, obviously, because Mark DeRosa comes out to play third base. We were told Zimmerman would probably be given a day off tomorrow, but it's DeRosa, and we will check on that and find out why.
I would imagine it had something to do with fouling that ball off his ankle last night.
Not aware that any lineup change was actually announced in the press box, so we'll get that info to you. And you would think DeRosa would probably go straight up. We'll see when they post the lineups on the scoreboard. And according to the scoreboard in right field, DeRosa is batting third for Zimmerman. Jose Reyes steps in. Strasburg's first pitch is a fastball. Just misses outside at 1:07 Washington time. Jose Reyes last night 0 for 3 with a walk. Starts the ball game hitting just .214. Ian Desmond in between hop. Gets rid of it in a hurry for the first out. Let's have a look at our STG Inside the Numbers. Find out why the government is turning to STG at STGinc.com.
And find out why most teams are swinging at the first pitch fastball. Look at the averages below. Changeup 111, curveball 111.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
I would imagine most of that 244 ambushes early in the count.
Yeah, but it's not like 244 is great either. It's just you have a better chance at the number 1 than the number 2 and the number 3.
Emilio Bonifacio slaps one off to the left side, and now Strasburg has him 0-2. Emilio hitting .321 with a sparkling on-base percentage of .429, and that's the 8th best on-base average in the league, tied with Joey Votto of the Reds. Stephen Strasburg's 21st career start. A record of 8-4 with an ERA of 2.35. I'll have a little bit more on that ERA and where it ranks with some of the young pitchers over the last 2 decades. Side door breaking ball stays outside. 2-2. 14-year veteran Greg Gibson has the plate. Phil Cuzzi, Vic Carapazza, and the crew chief Jerry Davis on the bases today. Target in. That was a fastball away, and Bonifacio did a pirouette while fouling that one away. They have loaded their lineup with left-handers today. That pushes Bonifacio into second base and puts Chris Coghlan in center with Logan Morrison in left. Breaking ball, and Emilio late for that.
And picking up right where he left off last night. He had that 14-pitch battle with Tyler Clippard. Ended in a walk. And Clippard rebounded to get Hanley Ramirez on a high fastball. But so far in this series, Emilio Bonifacio has been a pitch count killer.
Fastball, challenge fastball, and another foul ball.
98 miles an hour. So some heat early in this game from Strasburg. We talked about his first 2 starts in cold weather. He was 95, 96, occasional 97. But last 2 starts, the weather's been warmer, and so is the fastball, 98.
Hanley Ramirez in there today. Nat struck him out 3 times in 4 trips last night. Fastball. Man.
If I'm Emilio Bonifacio in my next contract, I'm going to have an incentive clause for 10 pitch at-bats or more. I'm just going to say, can we get that put in the contract? Every time I go double-digit at-bat, I need a bonus. And you can pay me whatever you want.
Yeah, base salary plus commission.
Yeah.
That's a tailing fastball. Desmond will have to hurry. Got in by a step and a half, 2 down. Ryan Zimmerman has been hitting the ball hard. Unfortunately, last night, one of those times was right off his leg.
Yeah, it was barreled up and smoked right off the inner ankle. And we knew that was going to get tight as the game went on. He chiefed it out and finished the game last night. But without batting practice today, I don't know if he had a chance to get it loose. And let's just hope he's okay and missing 1 game, and we'll let you know when we know.
And the Nats missing one of their better hitters, thus, against Anibal Sanchez. Zimmerman, 10 career hits, a homer, and 2 RBIs against that tough right-hander. Hanley Ramirez is 3 for 5 career against Steven Strasburg. That's a fastball that misses low. Morrison and Sanchez, Gabby Sanchez, each a hit against Strasburg, and that's it for the Marlins, who are starting today. Low and in, 2-0. Hanley Ramirez off to a good start, 4th in the league in homers and 7th in RBIs. Way inside, ball 3.
And that was the book on Ramirez last night. He came into last night's game in the 5 previous games. An 11 for 20 clip, hitting .550, 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Shut down last night on primarily fastballs on the inner half.
Nobody's gotten him out on a 3-1 count yet this year. That one is tap foul. Some good late sink to that one. Now that's interesting, FP. That's not the straight change. That was 95. So about halfway between the fastball and the changeup there.
That was the 2-seam fastball, and it runs in, and you saw the pitches early in the count on the inside. Do you remember those old catcher's gloves that had the fluorescent outline? Well, maybe that's why those pitches were in, because Steven Strasburg is picking up the fluorescent sweatbands of Hanley Ramirez. That's probably hard not to see if you're pitching.
3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strikes him out looking. Ramirez thinks it's high. Greg Gibson punches him out, and it's another 1-2-3 first for a Nats starter.
In the first inning, 3-2 pitch from Stephen Strasburg. He decided to go with the curveball. You see all the location of the previous 5 pitches. Hanley thought it was high. Pitch Track thought it was high. But the most important thing, Greg Gibson, he thought it was a strike. Check out the reaction from Hanley right here. Hands on the hips. That ball's up.
If you don't slam your helmet to the ground, you can stay in the ball game. So here we go, bottom first. Desmond, first pitch swinging against Sanchez. Jose Reyes, low throw. Gabby Sanchez grabs it, 1 out. Nats lineup brought to you by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Rick Ankiel, well, one of the best games anybody will have in this uniform all year. Homer, single, double, great throws, great catches in the outfield. Did it all for the Nats last night.
And he had the only hit in the ball game until Ian Desmond singled in the 8th inning. The only hits, I should say.
Yeah. Here's Sanchez. 40-38 career, so somebody beats this guy, but he's 7-0 against Washington in 17 starts with a 2.06 ERA. Danny Espinosa looks at one well outside.
He's got some good stuff. He'll cut the fastball, sink the fastball. He's got a 4-seamer to go with it, 88-94. A slider, 82-84, and he's got a really good changeup. So good stuff. There's a changeup, 83.
Well, he has thrown a no-hitter in the big leagues. Danny 0 for 4 last night with a couple of Ks. Sanchez, of course, part of an epic 7-player deal back in November of 05. And he strikes out Espinosa right under his bat, 2 down.
Yeah, let's check out the defense for the Fish today. Behind Anibal Sanchez, Morrison, Coghlan, and Dobbs in the outfield. Reyes and Ramirez on the left side. Bonifacio and Sanchez on the right side. And John Buck doing the catching.
Marlins not a great defensive ball club. 11th in the league. 13 errors. Only the Padres, Rockies, and Giants have made more. Here's Mark DeRosa trying to get his bat started. 2 for 26 with a couple of RBIs. 0 for 5 career against Sanchez.
A tough assignment for Mark DeRosa facing Sanchez today, but you just wonder if you get that last-minute start that maybe you're not thinking about things and you just go in there and react. And this might be just what the doctor ordered to get his bat going.
Slider strikes him out on 3 pitches. 2 Ks for Sanchez. So it's going to be another one of these afternoons, it appears.
Some PNC inside the numbers. And look at the rankings of these pitchers. Ross Detweiler, second in the league with a 0.56 ERA. Remember those 4 runs he gave up in the first inning against the Reds were all unearned. That's why the ERA stands at 0.56, and he pitched a whale of a game last night. And Gio Gonzalez 17th, Strasburg 10th, and Zimmerman 7th.
And Edwin Jackson's was 2.57 going into his start on Thursday night.
For solutions that help you achieve your financial goals, PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Here's Logan Morrison, cleanup man for the Marlins. Top of the second underway. And the fastball up and away. Morrison off the bench last night. And an infield hit in the 8th inning when Ian Desmond couldn't get the ball firmly gripped for a throw to first. Some anxious moments those last 2 innings, but Clippard and Rodriguez took care of business. Morrison now 3rd full year in the big leagues, .259 career hitter. He can hit up the middle. He ripped it. As a young man in Kansas City, his dad bought him the Charlie Lau Theory of Hitting book. Adopted a lot of that, and this was textbook.
Charlie Lau, keep your head down, finish high. Let go of that hand, stay through the baseball. And heads up, folks, that's coming right at you.
If we were doing this game in 3D, people from Pennsylvania to North Carolina would have been ducking. Here's Sanchez. Gabby takes one in there. Fastball. 0 for 3 with a walk last night. 1 for 2 career against Strasburg with an RBI. Well, he really spreads out and gets to what they would call an athletic hitting position. Gabby Sanchez is 6'1", 222. He gets down into that crouch, doesn't present the biggest strike zone of some guys.
And he looks a little more slim than he did last year. Looks like he's in better shape, lost some weight.
That's a great breaking ball. That much break, that much drop, you can end it up right in the middle of the plate. Cholula, pitch track, strikeout number 2.
Let's check out the hammer from Strasburg. Oh, yeah. And that one had some good bite at the end. And you see, as a hitter, you're swinging to where you think it's going to be, and that's the mystery of the curveball.
Cholula bringing the heat. Yeah, he actually swung under that curveball. So here's Greg Dobbs, one of the better pinch hitters around the last few years, getting a start today. As we mentioned, Ozzie Guillen getting his lefties in there. Dobbs 3 for 11 with a couple of RBIs to start the season. So Ozzie's ball club off to a 7-7 start. The Nats busted their 4-game winning streak last night.
And one of the best games I've seen in a long time. It had everything.
That was a classic, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
That ball hits the umpire. I mean, Ramos simply missed it. It got Greg Gibson in the right shoulder, and then Logan Morrison down to second base. Not sure if that was cutting action or what, but Wilson Ramos simply missed the ball.
That might have been a little bit lower than the right shoulder, if you know what I mean. 96 miles an hour.
Oh.
And that'll make you see stars for a while, make a lot of promises, and you just hope he's okay.
This will take a while for Greg Gibson to shake off. Don't forget, Phillies will be here first weekend of May. It's our park. Hopefully, our series. Ignite your Natitude, nationals.com/tickets. Some restrictions do apply. Phil's in here for the first time this year. That's Jerry Davis right there, 29-year veteran.
Crew chief, he had to plate last night. And once everybody's okay, it's okay to have a little chuckle about it.
And he told Strasburg if he wants to throw a couple, he can.
And he's probably said, if you want to stay in this game, tell your catcher to catch these high 90-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Wow.
Oh, boy, you don't wish that on your worst enemy. And now Ozzie Guillen's got a beef right now. He's going at it with Jerry Davis.
They're sending the runner back to first base. Was there a foul tip? They had already announced pass ball in the booth. To be honest, I didn't see any contact, bat and ball. And Ozzie's arguing over 90 feet here.
Well, let's see. Was there any foul ballage? It looks like catcher's interference. Did it look like that bat hit Wilson Ramos's glove?
Yeah.
And it closed Ramos's glove, and that's why the ball hit Greg Gibson.
So Greg Dobbs should be on first base for catcher's interference.
Yes.
That's why Ramos's glove never got to the baseball.
Well, when you get hit in the spot that Greg Gibson got hit in, I don't fault him at all for missing the whole thing. He was seeing stars at that point. But I think the reason Ozzie Guillen's talking to Jerry Davis is he's saying the same thing. I don't expect the home plate umpire to get that. He got hit where it really hurts, and you guys got to help him out.
Yeah, we didn't see any kind of call on that ball. And if they called it a foul tip, now the count's 0-2, which is what's on the scoreboard.
So they went from a 1-1 count
with a runner at second.
And Ozzie Guillen should have first and second. One out, because that was catcher's interference. Anytime the bat hits the catcher's glove, it's an error on the catcher. You receive first base. You don't get credited with an at-bat as a hitter. It's like a walk.
Yeah. So the Nats catch a big break. Greg Gibson certainly didn't. Hopefully he's okay for the rest of the day, and that's a foul off to the left. So I mean, we've got the count 0-2.
You had to figure, Carp, that, you know, how does Wilson Ramos miss a fastball just off the plate in?
Yeah.
And the reason was Dobbs' bat hit his glove, closed it, and he couldn't catch it.
Fastball sails up and away, ball one.
Well, it's only a matter of time before somebody from the Marlins clubhouse runs up the tunnel and tells Ozzie Guillen that there was catcher's interference on that play, and who knows what happens when he hears that. Or maybe that's just what he was arguing.
Swing and a miss on a pitch down and away.
Changeup, 89 with a lot of movement. Wow.
2 outs on strikeout number 3.
So 3 of the first 6 batters of the outs have come via strikeout. So 37 K Street in effect here today at the ballpark.
Boy, that slow-mo really gives you the tumbling action on that changeup. Hanley Ramirez called out on a controversial call to end the first. So the Nats are 2 for 2 on 50-50 calls so far here today, and that's upstairs to the catcher, John Buck. Infield hit last night, 1 for 3 with a walk. That's a good breaking ball. And by the way, we haven't mentioned this. You might have caught part of it on the pregame show if it was mentioned. Tony La Russa is here today. He presented Edwin Jackson with his World Series ring. And Tony La Russa is expected to be with us here in the booth for the 3rd inning.
And he came up here and was nice enough to visit with us before the ball game, show us his World Series ring.
All 3 of his World Series rings.
And he had them in a briefcase, kind of like a little, I don't know, kind of a purse kind of thing in the side compartment. They were all jingling next to each other. And I'm thinking, these are World Series rings, and he's got them in the side compartment. And I took a picture of his ring, and I put it on my Facebook and said, some guy named La Russa just came in the booth and said something about winning some big game last year or something.
Yeah. Swing. That is a swing or not? Throw to second, and that guy's out. So we've got some interesting things going on around the batter's box. Morrison gunned down. Watch the umpire's right arm.
Wilson Ramos not waiting for the appeal. Threw it down to second.
Yeah.
Wilson Ramos. You talk about being heads up. Nasty curveball in the dirt, hitting the left-handed batter's box. Ramos on it like a cat. Nice job of staying soft, blocking that baseball. And a better job of being heads up to throw the ball down to second. You saw the shot of Greg Gibson asking for help from Phil Cuzzy at first base, but Wilson not waiting for that on the ball. Perfect strike to second base.
Yeah, and we're told that's not a caught stealing. That was trying to advance on a wild pitch because that ball bounced way out in front of Ramos. And did you see that Spike's first slide giving Danny Espinosa something to think about as well? So a tip of the cap to Danny for hanging in there. And here's Chad Tracy, 0 for 6 career against Sanchez. And he will get jammed and pop it up over by the dugout. And catchable on a one-handed running catch by John Buck. Pretty athletic with all that gear on, covering some serious ground. For the achiever in you, PNC Bank, solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. And we check in on Jeff Coburnis, 23 years of age, 6'2", 210, and hitting the ball well. He's out of Cal Berkeley, and he was the Nationals' second-round pick back in 09. 282 at Potomac last year with 7 homers and 52 RBIs.
The numbers stand out, but how about the 6'2", 210 for a second baseman? That's pretty good size.
Who does he think he is, Jeff Kent? Not many big guys play that position, and as far as being tall and large and heavy. So here's Jason Worth. This will be an interesting matchup to keep an eye on today, as FP told you. 4 for 27 career against Sanchez.
Well, that's, a tough go. That's some pretty good track record, but the 18 strikeouts against him is the part that tells me that certain guys, for whatever reason, you just don't pick up the ball off of. You can't explain it as a hitter. You don't know why. And we all know about the stuff that Sanchez has, but for Jason to strike out that many times against a guy means that he's just not picking it up.
Worth 0 for his last 8 after the 9-game hitting streak, and Ramirez throws him out. Here comes Rick Ankiel, last night's superhero.
And you called it. I mean, great description, easy for me to say, Carp, on his night last night. Probably the best night you'll ever see a Nationals player have when you talk about all-around game, running balls down the outfield, throws to the plate. There was a time when he had the only 2 hits of the game for the Nationals. And Carlos Zambrano was perfect against everybody else. Had another base runner all night.
Not to be forgotten, a throw in from center field with a runner at third and 1 out. Ankiel looking to go opposite way. In his career, he has a homer, 3 RBIs against Sanchez, 4 for 10. Not many hitters can boast anything near that against this right-hander. Got to be hacking now on anything close 0-2 quickly. And a swing and a miss. Each pitcher 3 strikeouts. No score through 2. The matchup we expected. Rethink Possible. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Time to muster up some hot dogs on this particular day at the ballpark. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Fish in the top of the third. For Nationals alerts you can't miss, maybe catch a foul ball. Well, I don't think you can do that online. But you can get lineups and in-game updates. Text Nationals to 29292. John Buck was at the plate when Morrison was gunned down at second by Wilson Ramos. There's that first pitch fastball attempted ambush, and Jason Worth has a quick out, right field corner.
John Buck said there's no way I'm getting into an 0-2 count again.
Next up will be number 8 man, the center fielder Chris Coghlan, and then Anibal Sanchez. Coghlan came on late last night. He went 0 for 2, but he's the one who hit that drive that you saw Ankiel haul in right in front of the Miami bullpen. Sun trying to peek through here. Steamy day at the ballpark.
You feel that humidity coming in. It's supposed to rain later on tonight and all day tomorrow.
2 balls and no strikes. Here's Coghlan 0 for 3 career against Steven Strasburg. And a 2-0 coming. He goes fastball, gets it at the knees, 2-1. Well, sporting more hardware than anybody in our nation's capital today, Tony La Russa. Good to see you, Skipper.
Thank you, Bob. My hero.
FP?
FP, yeah.
Well, you guys have...
He hit about 1,050 against us.
I doubt that, Skipper. But how'd you get by security?
That's a lot of stuff you're toting.
I would say all that jewelry on both hands, sporting 3 World Series rings, you could probably get in anywhere. Probably go to the White House right now and walk right in.
Coghlan bounces and Danny Espinosa takes care of it. Tony, good to have you here, and tell us about your relationship with Edwin Jackson and of course Rick Ankiel going further back, but you were able to give Edwin his World Series ring today, and what a moment for both of you.
Well, I said on the field, and I meant it, without the trade that included Edwin to bolster our rotation, we would not have won. We got in on the last day of the season, and I think he's in a great place in his career because he got here so early, and he's had to learn the hard way at the big leagues, learning, failing, succeeding. So we were really impressed with how smart he is and competitive. He's a great athlete. I think he messes up bunts on purpose so he can get to 2 strikes and swing at times. But
we've thought that too.
And in Hank's case, if I have a team of all-time favorite guys, I'm not talking about the stars. Rick is on it. He is just a 10 in every department and can't pull harder for him to have a great career.
And whose idea was it to make him an outfielder?
Walt Jocketty really. Oops.
That is a swing and a miss. And the inning is over, and Tony La Russa is with us. We'll be back with more tomorrow. We thought we might have a quick inning with Strasburg pitching. There's the guys all gathered on the field before the game in a World Series presentation. And not often we get to bring you a reigning World Series manager. And Tony La Russa with us. Good to see you, and congratulations on everything from last year. An improbable run that you will probably have somewhere in your mind for the rest of your life.
Well, one of the wonderful realities is that, if you have a good year or even a championship year, you're always worried about the next one, so you never really reflect. Now I'm not doing it, so I'm really spending a lot of time trying to figure out how we did it, and it's improbable because how we pulled it off. But if you think about the guts and the character of the team, and that really was the answer.
Mm-hmm. Now that's St. Louis on your right hand, but you've got Oakland on your left hand.
Yeah, you never want to. It's like your sons and daughters. You're all your favorites. This is not a real fun day for hitters. I don't think these two guys.
Oh my goodness!
Xavier Nady, first pitch swinging, fly ball to Greg Dobbs, and the bottom of the third is underway.
And Tony, I liken this staff to the old days when you used to go into Atlanta and face Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz. And as a hitter, you were lucky if you had a couple of hits to show for the whole series. And with the Nationals having these power guys, mid-90s with great secondary pitches, I think the same applies here early in the season.
I know as a manager, when you face talent like this, your first thought is, can we get a hit? And then if you get a hit, can we get a run? So now you get rid of the no-hitter and the shutout. If you get both of those, then you try to figure out, can you win the game? I mean, it's that scary to go against talent that's this tough.
Yeah, I've been talking about that a lot on the air this year early in the season, that Felipe Alou always used to turn to the bench after we got our first hit and say, there goes the no-hitter. And he'd say, that's the first thing you got to take care of in every game. And you said the same thing.
Well, I'm sitting there, and watching Strasburg today. I mean, what he's doing up there is unfair. I mean, the quality of the stuff and the location, I mean, you're going to have to hit early in the count and hope that you can run into something, because this guy can put you away as well as anybody.
And that's what hitters have tried to do. They're hacking first fastball they see anywhere near home plate.
But it's actually a good thing for him, because if they swing in early, then he can pitch deeper into the game, because it's really it's a real dilemma for hitters. If you sit back and try to force them to throw a lot of pitches and you're always hitting 0-2, 1-2, you're not going to have any success. So he's got a nice thing going. 2-1
to Wilson Ramos, and Sanchez drops a breaking ball in. He evens the count.
Do you manage any differently when you're facing a staff that might be dominant? Do you force the issue? Do you try to create runs?
Well, I think you have to. That's one of the things. You got to believe that unless you happen to watch the first inning, hey, he really doesn't have it today, which doesn't happen too often. You know that if you play the game straight, unless you've got a guy out there who's just as good, then your only chance to win is to push it. So, I mean, I was told that I think Sanchez is like 7-0 against your club. You can do no wrong. So, I mean, do things that are against the odds, because if you break through, that could spell a difference. Plus, you can disrupt him a little bit, because I'm sure he's confident.
And there goes the no-hitter.
Nationals have their first base hit with Wilson Ramos. He got jammed, and that pitch was down and in, went down and got it. That's his 9th hit of the year. And we'll get to see Stephen Strasburg handle the bat. He has 4 big league sacrifice bunts.
And when I think to your teams, Tony, especially in St. Louis, obviously in the National League, I felt like your pitchers always did a great job of helping themselves out, doing the little things at the plate.
Well, I like that move a lot by Davey right there. Show it and then let him swing, because unless you get the bunt defense to have some respect for the fact that you might put something on and they're right on top of the hitter, I mean, it's almost impossible to sacrifice a guy to second base success unless a guy can fly. So you're better off doing. I mean, that was a wonderful move by Davey. Just have something, and now all of a sudden Ramirez may back up a couple of strides. But we really paid a lot of attention to just being more aggressive with our bats and creativity, because instead of just giving the out.
Strasburg will lay it down right in front of the plate, and Buck's throw is in time on a 2-5 out to 2-6 to Jose Reyes.
Now, you were never afraid to put on a hit and run with your pitcher, a little butcher boy action, or just let him straight swing away.
Well, it all goes to if they defend you. And a lot of times the guy that we had on base was not a real speed guy. So you're looking at an out at second base, sometimes a double play. So the other thing is, if you ever have one of those things work in a game, you get your top of your lineup hitting with maybe a first and third, and there goes maybe even a crooked number inning, that could be the difference. So I think it was a gamble well taken. If it runs, the only thing you have to risk was if it didn't work, somebody's going to second guess you, and you just ignore it.
Tony, before we wrap it up, Davey Johnson, long time out of the dugout. He comes back. Your impressions of this veteran guy and your relationship?
Well, I go way back with Davey. I mean, I knew him as a player. So you think about his experience and his background. You know, he was an outstanding player on a championship club. So he has all that experience going for him. Then he goes into managing, and he has a couple of great experiences. You know, with the Mets, World Championship, he was very successful at Baltimore. So I don't think you can get into any situation that Davey has not experienced, and especially as a manager has not handled successfully. So the key is, and I was able to spend about 15 minutes with him, the key with a veteran like that is he competitively back into it like he was, is a fire in his gut, and it's clear that it is. So the Nats are getting the best of all. They get an experienced guy who really still fired up.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Ian Desmond.
This is one of my favorite players on the other side. I love watching Desmond play.
Tremendous athlete, tremendous arm strength. I think the sky's the limit, Tony.
Yeah, and going to get better and better.
Well, off to a great start. Came into this game hitting .297. Still third in the league with his 19 hits early in the season. And a 2-2 with a target outside. Fastball up. Tony La Russa, thanks for your time. Great to see you.
Always great, Bob.
Take care.
See you back home.
Tony La Russa. We go top 4 scoreless game. After the 3rd inning every day, we serve today for a better tomorrow at DynCorp. It's our honor to stand up and applaud these great heroes, some of them wounded warriors, some of them totally healthy, but number one in our hearts as they defend our freedom. Top of the 4th inning coming up. Each team with a hit in a scoreless game. Ryan Zimmerman's kid jersey takes center stage tomorrow. Marlins here for a 135. First 10,000 fans 12 and under receive the Ryan Zimmerman's kid jersey presented by Masson. Go to nationals.com/tickets and check it out.
I want one of those, and I will rock it. With a kid's jersey, it'll make me look even bigger.
Yeah, you'll look buff in it.
Be sporting the guns.
So did we hear a report, Ryan, a shoulder situation had him out of the game, so evidently not from the foul tip last night. We'll try to get more details as they become available. Top of the 4th inning. Strasburg has faced the minimum number of hitters so far. So here's Jose Reyes, who bounced out to Desmond to start the game. Jose Reyes in this series 0 for 4 with a walk.
And I would imagine all the diving that Zim's been doing at third base might be the reason for a little inflammation in the shoulder. And he spent more time on the ground this homestand than he has on his feet, making plays all over the place.
3 balls and a strike. Fastball in there. Christina, what are you hearing downstairs about Ryan?
I'm hearing the same thing, Bob. I just heard from the Nationals that it is, in fact, mild right shoulder inflammation. There is no structural damage, however, and he should be fine. He has been on the bench a little bit with his team in and out of the dugout.
And Davey was thinking about giving Ryan the day off tomorrow, and then a day off Monday in San Diego would give him a nice little breather. So we shall see how he plays it tomorrow. 3-2 pitch. Strasburg to Reyes, and that one hits the chalk. Right in front of Nady, and Jose Reyes will motor into second base with his 4th double of the year to go with a couple of triples.
Just a little two-seam fastball away, but it was up and away, and Reyes did a nice job of getting on top of this baseball. 97 miles an hour. Just dropping the head, and watch how close this is. Right on the line. And the Marlins are in business with a leadoff double.
Man, that thing was hit so hard, and Strasburg provided so much power. That ball probably had 6 or 8 feet of slice on it. Bonifacio lays down a good bunt. DeRosa to Espinoza. 5-4. Sacrifice is good. Well, that's what Jose Reyes does for you. He gets on base. All of a sudden, you take an inning in a ball game where not much has been happening offensively, and when he gets on base, things start happening really quickly.
Well, especially in a game like this, a pitcher's duel so far here in the 4th inning. You feel like one run is going to be like 5 or 6 today with the way these two guys are going at it early.
So the infield's in for Hanley Ramirez. Left-handed hitter Logan Morrison on deck. You could work him carefully and set up a possible double play, but there's nothing slouchy about the guy in the on-deck circle either. That's not going to get the Marlins a run. Right at Espinoza on the first pitch.
Interesting that Ozzie Guillen didn't go contact play right there with the speedy Reyes at third base. A lot of times you'll force the issue. Contact play is when you're at third base, you read down angle off the bat. So you see the ball go down on the ground, you break. You kind of keep your lead going. You walk right into it. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense to be perfect with the grounder, make a perfect throw to the plate, and a perfect tag with the catcher. And usually early in the game, you'll see managers go contact play when they have their speed guy on third base.
So here's Morrison, who singled hard up the middle first time. And Strasburg works him soft away.
And this might be a pitch around piece to get to Gabby Sanchez. And no offense to Gabby, but he just wants the right on right matchup, I would imagine, after Morrison smoked that ball up the middle his first time up.
In the air, out of play.
But I don't know if Steven Strasburg thinks like that.
Is he wired to pitch around people?
Yeah. Hey, let me pitch around this guy. Or just throw 98 and see what happens.
18 pitches first inning, then 15, and then just 10 in the third.
And a lot of heaters so far from Strasburg. 75%.
Wow. Reyes coming about 20 feet down the line, and then Steven just steps off. Mark DeRosa is about 25 feet from the bag at third. That ball popped up left field. Long run for Xavier Nady, and he'll get there. Strasburg gets Ramirez and Morrison. And the Nats continue to hold the Marlins scoreless. And George is the winner. Tom and Abe following him. Teddy went down the left field side with one of his four-legged friends, and they just had a little stroll in the park today. How you doing, guys? Great day to be at the ballpark. Weather, at least for now, fantastic. Espinosa, DeRosa, and Tracy, bottom four. Anibal Sanchez, 33 pitches, 24 strikes. A bunt. Danny gets it too close to the mound, and it gets away on a low throw to Gabby Sanchez. The good thing Danny did, he did not make any kind of shoulder turn towards second base. So he's safe at first, running through the bag.
Good thing Danny did was get on base. Good idea right here. Maybe could have been a little bit more to the line. But how many times have we seen, just with a simple bunt this year, the defense go into absolute panic mode and throw the ball away? We saw it with Lombardozzi on his 4-hit night. You see it right there with Espinosa. Nice job of starting this inning off. Getting on base, they gave it an error.
Yeah, score has given an error to the pitcher, Sanchez, for the low throw. Every 90 feet in this game, huge. So the Nats have their leadoff man on for the first time. Marlins have done it twice to no avail.
Well, I would argue on that play that that wasn't a routine play. When you're coming off the mound and you're barehanding a baseball.
Runner going, and DeRosa, who is a tremendous hit-and-run man in spring training, hits it off to the right side.
If you bunt that ball straight back to the pitcher, Carp, and he fields it cleanly and throws it in the dirt, that's an error. But when he's flying off the mound, barehanding a ball, and throwing back across his body, that's not a routine play.
His momentum's going away from first base.
There's nothing routine about that. That's a hit.
Agreed. Now DeRosa. Off to the right again, 0-2. Ball game in progress for just around 55 minutes or so. Bob Carpenter, FP Santangelo, Christina Acra, right with you here on MASN HD. 10th game of the homestand. The Nats have only lost twice. Second game of this 3-game series, no score, bottom four. DeRosa, did he go? Yes, and he's done for the second time today on strikes. 5 Ks for Anibal Sanchez. That'll bring in Chad Tracy. MLB.TV, take it with you wherever you go this year. Subscribe. Every Nationals out of market game live online. That's when you're out of market on your favorite device, HD quality. MLB.TV. You can find it and more details at nationals.com. And a strike to Chad Tracy.
You know, an inning ago, you almost lost your color analyst. I almost chased Tony out in the hallway there, and I could have
talk baseball for the next 2 days
till this time tomorrow. I don't know if he would have liked talking to me that long, but that was some kind of fun for me, having one of the best managers in the history of the game up here in the booth talking ball.
Yeah, he will be in the Hall of Fame. That ball chased down at the edge of the track by Coughlin as Tracy put a charge in it.
And you know what, Carp? No matter what team I was with, whenever we played the Cardinals, Tony made a point to come over and shake my hand and ask me how I was doing. And other managers would say hi to you or whatever, but Tony made a point to walk over every time we played them and say, FP, how you doing? What's going on?
Can I offer a theory as to why he did that?
I have no idea, but I have tons of respect for the man because he always did that.
He and I have had this conversation. He was that kind of player. He was a player like you. One of the guys that was his all-time favorite in Oakland, you know, other than McGuire and Canseco and the Bash brothers and all that, one of his favorite players there was Mike Gallego, who could play anywhere on the field, pinch hit, pinch run, come in for defense. He identified with guys like you and Mike, and I'm sure, FP, that had a lot to do with that. He appreciated the little guys that helped him win games as well as the superstar-type players.
And he treated everybody the same. You talk to guys that play for Tony La Russa, the 25th guy on the roster was just important, as important as Albert Pujols.
Yeah, there was another kid we had in St. Louis in the late 90s who's now a minor league manager named Joe McEwing. And his nickname was Super Joe because he could go do anything. And, of course, on his staff, Jose Oquendo was that kind of player, too.
And Super Mac coaching third base for the White Sox right now for Robin Ventura.
No balls and one strike to Jason Worth.
Yeah, Little Mac and Big Mac.
Worth bounced out to third base first time up. LaRussa retires as the all-time #3 winningest manager behind Connie Mack and John McGraw. He was close to McGraw too. I thought he might stick around long enough to be #2, but he thought it was time.
Well, Espinosa had a lean going right there. He was rolling. Sanchez with a pretty good move to first base. And like I always say, that move isn't always to pick a guy off. It's to tell the manager if there's a play on or the guy is running. Right there, Espinosa was going.
No balls and 2 strikes to Worth.
And that was just a hold designated from the bench to see if Espinosa would flinch again.
By the way, one final note. You had, what, 21 career home runs?
Yes.
That's 21 more than Tony La Russa had as a major league player.
Really?
Yeah, he had 7 career RBIs. Played a little bit for Kansas City, Oakland, the Braves, and the Cubs. 199 career batting average.
Those who can't do teach. And he was one of the best managers ever.
Nats leadoff man aboard Espinosa here in the 4th. Danny's still at first base with 2 outs. Quite a battle with Strasburg and Sanchez.
I'm still a little perplexed that Ozzie Guillen didn't have the contact play on with Reyes.
Yeah.
In a game where runs are at a premium, a pitcher's duel, you'd think you'd take a chance in the 4th inning, but they didn't. I mean, you've probably been out, but you just never know on that play. You know, if an infielder feels the speed of the runner at third base and tries to rush the throw to home, I mean, that's what the contact play is designed. It's designed to force the defense to make a mistake. You're betting on those guys getting a little bit tight in that situation, maybe double clutching, throwing the ball in the dirt to the catcher. In many cases, when you have a speedy runner at third base that gets a good jump, he can flat out beat it no matter how hard it's hit.
Worth can't reach that breaking ball. Anibal Sanchez as much on his game as Steven Strasburg is today. Today, the Nationals, by the way, welcomed their 15 millionth fan into the park on this afternoon, averaging just under 25,000 a game for the year. "54 pitches, 34 strikes Strasburg, and 43 pitches, 33 strikes Sanchez." And a ball that hugs the dirt after hitting the lip of the grass off the bat of Gabby Sanchez. Desmond takes care. AT&T fact of the game.
What do you got?
3 shutouts in a season's first 15 games since the '68 Senators, who did it 3 times in the first 10 games. I didn't know Walter Johnson was still pitching in '68. The big train, but not on that ball club. I have to Google the 68 Senators and find out what went on with that bunch. Stephen Strasburg, part of an interesting note the Nats sent out right before the game started today. Over the last 20 years, 4 pitchers in their first 20 career starts, the best DRAs over that time. Strasburg is tied for 3rd on the list. Number 1 was Hideo Nomo, 2.08 his first 20 starts. Zach Duke, 2.33, and then Strasburg and Jaime Garcia tied at 2.35. Young men who've come to the big leagues and been hard to hit and hard to score on right out of the gate.
And Zach Duke is a national. He picked up off waivers into our minor league system.
Next up will be John Buck here in the 5th. Who would have thought that the 1968 Washington Senators, with the kind of pitching they had, would go on to finish last in the American League with only 65 wins, 37.5 games behind the Tigers, who would go on and win the World Series.
He just buzzkilled that stat.
Forget about context, ladies and gentlemen. That's a broken bat single for Greg Dobbs. I got a pretty good feeling the Nats are going to win more than 65 games and be closer than 37.5 games to first place.
Oh, I had to call you out on that. That was good stuff.
Yeah. Ouch. Best records in baseball right now. The Nats right there behind the Rangers, the Dodgers. Texas has won 7 straight. Dodgers lost a couple of days ago, so they're starting another streak. St. Louis solid. Tigers, they were the quickest out of the gate, and they've fallen back just a bit.
Matt Kemp with his 8th home run yesterday. Unreal.
20 RBIs. And the Dodgers have played 14 games. So he's on a Hack Wilson type pace.
It was funny with all the Albert Pujols stuff in the offseason. All my friends would talk to me and say, he's the best player in the game. And I would say, center fielder for the Dodgers is the best player in the game, period. I said that all winter, and I believe it. He can do it all.
Opening day starters for the 68 Senators: Paul Casanova, Frank Coggins, and then some familiar names like Mike Epstein and Ron Hansen. Of course, Hondo, Frank Howard, Ken McMullen, Camilo Pascual, the pitcher, Del Unser, and Fred Valentine took the field on opening day for the 68 Senators. So here we are 44 years later, and this ball club featuring some outstanding pitching early in the season and winning 11 out of 15 games. John Buck flied to right first time up on 1 pitch.
A little thumb right there, throw over. We were talking about that last night, and you saw Wilson Ramos right there with a nice job of closing his front leg so the base runner can't see the sign. As a catcher, your responsibility with the runner on first. See that right there? Great shot, guys. You got to close that front leg so he can't peek in and get the sign. If he gets the sign and sees curveball right there from Strasburg, and you're a base stealer, you get an extra step on the off speed, and you go. And the advantage of seeing the throw-over sign is if something is put on, say like a hit and run or you're stealing and they throw over, you get back easy and you don't show the opposition that you were going to go. Right there, close up. They can't see it.
2-2 pitch, runner going. He had a kind of a jumping start, and the ball dropped by Danny Espinosa trying to make a sweep tag. Greg Dobbs got a walking start and never stopped.
And that goes to what Tony La Russa was saying when he was up in the booth. A pitcher's duel, you got to force the issue, maybe create something on offense. And you see Ozzie Guillen right there, sending a guy you don't really think about stealing a base to steal a base, and he got a fantastic jump. And I think if Danny catches that, he's safe anyways. He got some kind of jump at first.
Yeah, Dobbs doesn't do a whole lot of running. Now it's a 3-2 pitch to Buck. And a big breaking ball, swing and a miss. That ended up being a helicopter swing with one hand. Strikeout number 5 on the Nissan pitch track.
You're going to take out the curveball from Strasburg. Everything in early in the count. Curveball down and away late in the count. And that's just not fair. Thanks for coming.
Chris Coghlan is next. Bounced out to second, first time up.
You want to be careful right here with the pitcher on deck. I wouldn't give Coghlan anything good to hit in this sequence. And quite frankly, I'm surprised they're pitching to him. But like we said earlier, I don't think that's in Strasburg's vocabulary. Pitch around someone. He doesn't even know what that means.
That was off speed 88.
And a tough situation for an 8-hole hitter, too. Tie ball game. Both pitchers going at it. It's the old question, do you expand your strike zone right here and try to knock the guy in, or do you take your walk? If you think he's pitching around you, some 8-hole hitters will swing at balls and try to drive the run in like that right there.
Yeah, that was up and away.
I think there's certain times hitting in the 8 slot that you take your walk, and I think there's certain times hitting in the 8 slot that you force the issue, and this might be one of those times where you force the issue.
That kind of a ball game, as I mentioned, every 90 feet crucial today. Dobbs at second base, 2 outs, 1 out single and a steal. And he buried that breaking ball down and into the lefty. Team ERAs today, 3.38 versus 2.38. And the pitchers' ERAs, 2.92 versus 1.42. So there you go on what kind of day this is. That's a ground ball right side. Tracy gobbles it up, and Steven Strasburg 5 shutout innings, and Keel, Nady, and Ramos coming up. Today, Sanchez brilliant, Strasburg brilliant.
I want to go back and tell you what the contact play is. If you don't know what that play is, with the runner on third base, less than 2 outs, there's 2 things you can do. You can make the ball be through the infield, or you can run the contact play. What is the contact play? Well, when you're the runner on third, you're reading down angle off the bat. You kind of get a walkie lead right into the pitch. And when you see the ball on the ground coming that way off the bat versus that way off the bat, you break, and you're betting on the defense. Go ahead and roll it, guys. You're betting on the defense to bobble the ball or just plain beat the ball at home. And in a game where you think it's a pitcher's duel, you see that ball right there, a 2-3 hopper to Danny Espinosa. And I think if Jose Reyes goes there and they put the contact play on, it would have been a very interesting play at the plate. So you're putting pressure on the defense and banking that they either bobble the ball, make a high throw, whatever. and you steal yourself a run. It's a gamble, but I think it's a gamble you take early in the game rather than later in the game, and I'm surprised they didn't put it on.
2 balls, no strikes to Rick Ankiel. Bottom of the 5th underway, and Rick takes a shot on 2-0.
It's something you have to work on, though, every single day in batting practice. When you get to third base, I used to take 5 balls off the bat and work on my jumps from third like it was the contact play. You just read swings. You see the ball go down off the bat. You keep rolling your lead right to home plate. You see it go up off the bat. You scramble back to the bag, tag up, and score.
That ball fair, grabbed by Sanchez for the first out. Nobody really centering the ball here at all against either pitcher. Dierks Bentley is coming June 2nd.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is. Tickets start at $10. Go to nationals.com/concerts. It's the first of 3 free post-game concerts at Nationals Park this year. Must have a ticket for the game to get in.
The second one is going to be Dierks Bentley, I heard, and the third one, Dierks Bentley.
That is 6 weeks from today. Xavier Nady, fly ball to right. That's a high strike. 1-1, 5 hits in the game. You know, it looks to me like they changed that error call to a base hit for Danny Espinosa.
They must have had their headset on down there, or their ears were burning with my take on the instant replay. Or maybe they got a call from the dugout. That happens every once in a while.
There's a half swing and a ball out to short for Reyes. And 2 quick outs here in the 5th. Xavier Nady 0 for 2. Next up will be Wilson Ramos. So wipe out the Miami error and give Danny Espinosa a base hit leading off the 4th inning.
I've seen certain players, Carp, so enraged about a scorer's decision that they actually picked up the dugout phone in the middle of a game and called the press box.
Not supposed to do that. There are guidelines. You know, there's a big billboard in every major league clubhouse, and it has rules and regulations and standards of behavior. And one of those is not to show any abuse toward an official score. That has to be handled through proper channels, and they don't want guys calling the press box anymore.
Leave that up to the broadcasters?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any minute plans for the dugout phone and players.
Well, we've seen a couple of calls this year that didn't Ryan Matthews get a call that got changed, and all of a sudden he gives up a couple of earned runs.
He had a bad night. He woke up. His ERA was in the 3s when he went to sleep. He got to the ballpark the next day, and it was in the 5s.
This one high in the air, right field side, and grabbed by Greg Dobbs. Usually an infielder, seldom steals a base. So he has stolen a base today, made a fine running outfield play, and this one's into the 6th.
It's time for the Toyota Case for Kids. Let's check out Steven Strasburg and how he's done it today, and it's been with the off speed. Great feel for the curveball. He's thrown it for strikes early in the count, and he's thrown it for strikes late in the count. Look at the break on that hammer. Good changeup right there. You see the release point. Boy, that ball just looks like a golf ball in his hands. The Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children receiving medical treatment at NIH and their families. So they're making a donation to the Children's Inn at NIH of $37 for every strikeout by a Nationals pitcher this season.
Great donations to the National Institute of Health. And here we go, top six. Strasburg, 71 pitches, 44 strikes, 17 hitters, now 18, and 10 first pitch strikes. Now Anibal Sanchez, 13 first pitch strikes to the first 17 guys he's faced. So here's Sanchez, who struck out first time. Fastball is in there, 1-1.
He said it last night, I'll say it again today. This is how it's going to be in the NL East this year. When you play in your division with all the pitching, these are how the ball games are going to go for the majority of the season.
Yeah, there was a different feel to that game last night. It's kind of like in basketball season when the first of the year rolls around and you're not playing your non-conference schedule anymore. You get against your conference teams. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. No secrets. Scouting reports aren't very complicated. It's all about execution. And that's K number 6 for Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, we talked about the address changing in this game from 48 K Street last night to 37 K Street today, and they've all been with the curveball. Maybe one changeup in there. But the punch-out pitch for Strasburg today has been the deuce, and it's been a dandy.
Here's Jose Reyes. And a ball game like this is when a leadoff guy like this really can make a difference. We did see him double, get to third last time with one out. But Strasburg went to work and took care of the Marlins. Bouncing ball, and unable to get up there for it is Tracy. Reyes thinking about two. A good throw gets him, but it's offline. And Jason Worth is upset with himself. Jose Reyes turns a bouncing ball into 2 bags.
Second double of the day for Reyes, and he took a wide turn at first base, got real wide, and I thought, you know what, you got a chance. Watch how wide he is. He almost missed the bag. He might have missed the bag. That might be something you think about appealing right there. Jason Worth with the spin move, quick throw. That's a good gamble right there by Jose Reyes to get to second base. We saw Rick Ankiel do it last night, and it got the Nats a run.
Here's Bonifacio. No sacrifice here, but if you play this guy back, he'll lay down a bunt for a hit on you. And a swing and a miss as Strasburg throws it right past him.
You got to keep Jose Reyes close at second base right now, because he'll try to steal third.
Great side door breaking ball. 0-2 to Bonifacio.
Let's check out, see if he touched the bag. I'm being told yes. Let's see. Ooh. Well, I'll go with maybe right there. I couldn't tell if his shoe hit the bag or that was dirt. He just hit it with the side of his foot.
Bonifacio lifting one to left, and Xavier Nady is right there. Reyes can't do anything. Play right in front of him. And again, it boils down to Steven Strasburg versus Hanley Ramirez. Marlins box score, 4 hits, 2 of them by the leadoff guy with the pair of doubles. The other was a leadoff single by Logan Morrison in the second. Greg Dobbs a 1-out single in the 5th. So this is the 3rd time they've had a runner as far as second base.
I mean, what are they thinking? Getting runners all the way to second base. Strasburg's got the good curveball going today. He's got a great fastball. This might be the best stuff he's had in 4 starts this season.
Nats have not had a runner reach second base today.
It's the best his curveball has been by far, and it's been pretty good the first 3 starts.
You talked about the warmer weather and the good grip. Oh, that's nasty.
I mean, you could make the argument that the Nationals have the best left-handed curveball in the National League with Gio Gonzalez and the best right-handed curveball in the league with number 37.
Nissan Pitch Track has it right at the bottom of the zone. And a 1-1. Look out! Oh, the bat goes screaming into the seats. And everybody okay. I mean, that thing was in full velocity coming out of Hanley Ramirez's hands.
And Greg Gibson is having some kind of day behind the plate because that ball got him too. He got a fastball in the midsection early in this game, and I think that ricocheted off his hand right there. Let's check it out. Exmo tells no lies. Off Wilson's glove, off his right hand. Look at the fingers. Did you see that? Oh, that got him good. That Exmo something, boy. It doesn't miss a thing. And Greg Gibson's going to need an ice bath after this ball game.
I wonder if we could foresee a day when umpires might wear padded gloves back there.
Well, he needs a whole body armor suit because he's had a magnet in his back pocket for the baseball all game long.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Ramirez now. Everybody okay behind that dugout where that bat went whirly birding in there. There's a breaking ball that looked like ball, or strike 3, and said ball 2, and you saw Greg Gibson point just a little bit inside.
And it might have been, let's check it out, or it might have been a makeup call for that curveball up to Hanley Ramirez in the first inning.
His breaking ball is tremendous today.
Fastball up.
He goes breaking ball. Wow. That ball was not caught in the dirt. So where was it when it crossed home plate?
Let's see. Huh.
So first inning lobbying here in our nation's capital by Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah, speaking of K Street.
3-2 pitch. Fastball. That's foul. Actually 89, so that's the changeup. Looked like a heater, and that's why he was so far ahead. Well, you saw Hanley Ramirez earlier batting 1,000 on 3-1. 3-2, not very efficient so far. Strikeout, ground ball today. Fastball up. Logan Morrison, the lefty, is next.
Some good matchups early in this series between Hanley Ramirez and Tyler Clippard, and now Hanley Ramirez and Stephen Strasburg in some big situations.
That's a breaking ball. That's ball 4. Strasburg, first walk today. So the Marlins get their left-handed, right-handed matchup here with Morrison walking in, 1 for 2.
And I can't imagine that Hanley Ramirez knew where that curveball was going to end up. Strasburg's thrown so many good curveballs today with 2 strikes that he was thinking about something else. And the ball ended up. I mean, you get to the point as a hitter where when you see that curveball rotation from Strasburg, you see the release point. You have to respect it. He's thrown it for a strike. He's been able to throw it for a ball when he's wanted to, which I think is just as important.
Yeah. There's that side door breaking ball. Stephen Strasburg is at 90 pitches. Based on recent events, would Davey Johnson pinch hit for him in the bottom of the 6th? Did it for Detweiler last night.
But Detweiler's still working to get to that 100-pitch count because he only had 1 start in spring training, where I think Stephen Strasburg has shown that he's there. And You might find this hard to believe, but I think Davey Johnson throws the pitch count thing out with Strasburg. He goes by what his eyes tell him. He knows his pitcher's in shape. He knows his pitcher is fine. And we saw him go 108 pitches a couple of starts ago. He threw 93 pitches his last start. And Davey goes by the whole, hey, what kind of innings is he having? Is there stressful innings, low stress, high stress? Is he looking to get out of jams? And he relies on that more than the actual number, and I think that's great.
And you would consider this his second stressful inning out of 6 today?
Yes.
Reyes on third, 1 out, back in the 4th. 1-2 pitch, and that's inside.
See if you go change up away. Fastball in, move him off the plate, drop a 89-mile-an-hour change up on the outer half.
He goes breaking ball, and that's tipped. Two on, 2 out in a scoreless game, and a 2-2 pitch. That's a changeup away. Desmond has it. Close. Out at first. And this one into the bottom of the 6th inning. Marlins have stranded 4. Strasburg due to lead off. For him momentarily. This one goes bottom of the 6th inning. We have another great pitching matchup tomorrow with Josh Johnson and Gio Gonzalez. Then it's on to San Diego, a day off Monday, which I'm sure the guys will welcome. And make a note of the early starting time on Wednesday. That'll be 3:30 for us out there. Then it's on to Dodger Stadium. We'll give you the pitching matchups for the San Diego series tomorrow. Roger Bernardina is 2 for 19 career against Anibal Sanchez. So Sanchez trying to go at least 6. He's only thrown 56 pitches. And Ryan Matthews is up and throwing in the Nats bullpen. Strasburg, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 94 pitches, 60 strikes. So evidently they thought that the next inning might take Strasburg up around 110 or so. He did have some extended innings today. And Bernardina, the pinch batter, called out looking in a hurry. That's number 7 for Anibal Sanchez.
I thought that ball was outside. Let's see what Pitch Track has to say. Yeah.
Top of the order, Ian Desmond, 0 for 2. And 2 for his last 19. Ground ball to short, swinging strikeout. You'll see guys attacking if they see a ball in the zone because they don't want Sanchez getting them to 2 strikes.
Let's go inside the numbers with STG. Check out Ian Desmond. You wonder why he swings at the first 2 pitches? 440 average.
He gets a good piece of that one. See you later. Over the bullpen. 1-0 Washington.
So the average going up on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat for Ian Desmond. And that, folks, was a bomb.
Desmond's 2nd of the year.
Look at that dugout. Some kind of fired up right there.
24th homer of his big league career. And that is a big boy's home run right there.
And those are some big boy high fives in the dugout.
That ball cleared the bullpen and went halfway up the seats toward our Masson studio here at Nationals Park.
That almost hit Johnny in the back of the coconut.
So here's Danny Espinosa, 1 for 2 with a bunt base hit. That's got to be the greatest feeling a hitter can ever have, to totally get one on the sweet spot and watch a no-doubter fly 400 plus. Upstairs to Danny.
Tony La Russa talking earlier about how much he likes Ian Desmond. Wow. If he's still in the ballpark, he likes him even more after this swing. Wow. Watch where this ball lands.
So that back wall of the bullpen is right about 400, 405, and it probably went another 20 feet beyond that.
Right in that area right there.
Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Espinosa with DeRosa on deck. And Danny strikes out for the 2nd time today. Number 8 for Sanchez.
Let's look at it one more time. Foot down early. Hands right to the baseball. Catch it out in front. Good extension. Oh, it's perfect. Bam.
Bat never quivered on the Exmo. Nice catch out there, buddy.
Yeah.
Mark DeRosa 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks today. Ryan Zimmerman, a shoulder strain, not considered serious, taken out of the lineup before game time.
And Mark DeRosa needs a feel-good hit right here.
The last guy we expected to struggle out of spring training the way he was swinging. And not just the fact that he had a nice batting average and all that, but he was so relaxed at the plate. Everything was line drives the opposite way. There's Ryan. Maybe gets a day off tomorrow too, and then everybody gets a day off Monday after the long flight tomorrow night to San Diego. There's a Mark DeRosa swing that we watched all the month of March, and he's aboard with 2 outs.
Feel good knock we were talking about. Something like that will get you going in a hurry. Perfect swing, got into a hitter's count. He must feel like he's been 0-2 since spring training. Look at the reaction right there.
He just said to Trent Jewett, "I've missed you, man."
What's your name again?
Here's the Nats box score. Desmond the home run. Espinosa and DeRosa now have base hits, and Wilson Ramos had one back in the 3rd inning. So a big spot for Chad Tracy here. Tracy career 0 for 8 against Sanchez, and 2 ABs out of that total today. Well, there's a lot of baseball to be played, but the home run at least gives Steven Strasburg a chance to be rewarded for his effort today.
And what do I always say? 3rd time around, tough for a starting pitcher. And Ian Desmond, 3rd at-bat home run. Mark DeRosa, 3rd at-bat base hit. As a hitter, you have a pretty good idea what the starting pitcher is going to do to you. Maybe by your 2nd at-bat, but for sure by your 3rd at-bat. You got to have some kind of good stuff as a starter to go through that lineup 3 times.
1-1 to Tracy. We've got Mark DeRosa for 22 career steals as they checked him there. And Tracy pops it up left side. Hanley Ramirez with the call. And the Nats are done in the 6th. Big blow by Ian Desmond. Third pitch of the at-bat, and he hit it a mile. The Nats have 9 homers on the year. Desmond, 2 of them. 1-0. 7th inning coming up.
Doing more on defense. Let's go back to the 2nd inning. Wilson Ramos on a short curveball from Steven Strasburg heads up. Logan Morrison reading the ball in the dirt, but what he didn't expect was for Wilson to pounce on that baseball and throw a strike to second base.
That ended the 2nd. Strasburg wouldn't give up a hit until Reyes in the 4th, and only 2 more his day. So Ian Desmond having a big day. A homer today, 2 on the season, 6 RBIs, and that was his 20th hit of the year, which has him in the top 3 in the National League in base knocks. A lot of work to do here. 7th inning, Sanchez, Dobbs, and Buck. And for Ryan Matthews, his 9th appearance, 7 hits in 7 innings, 4 runs, 6 Ks, and 4 walks. Ryan, good stuff. Just needs to stay away from those walks.
Yeah, you see that righties hasn't been the problem. It's been the lefties.
Matthews delivers 193 for a strike. 2, Gabby Sanchez, who's 0 for 2 today and 0 for 5 in the series. That's a good breaking ball there. 0-2.
You see the opponent's average one more time.
Wow. Well, they got Dobbs, the lefty, next, and then the right-hander Buck. Marlins don't have any lefties on their bench today. They're all in the lineup. That sounded like a busted bat. DeRosa has it. Mark can play defensively just about anywhere. Always big to get that leadoff man with a 1-run lead. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. There's Greg Dobbs. 1 for 2 today with a stolen base and a nice running catch in right field.
And pretty good movement on the fastball from Matthews. He's been working on it between appearances, trying to get on top of that 2-seam fastball to get that sink. That's been his best pitch throughout his career, that fastball that just runs down and away from a lefty.
Ryan Webb getting ready for the Marlins. Boy, the great thing about the National League, a guy could be just mowing you down all day, but if you can somehow get a 1-run lead, it can get him out of the game at some point. Sanchez batting spot, still a couple of places away. And Dobbs will lift one to left field. That's playable for Xavier Nady. Matthews 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Nice day at the ballpark. Crowd of 20,000 maybe 22, 23. We shall see. Nats are averaging just under 25,000 per game so far. And today a young lady from Fairfax by the name of Sarah McCarty was rewarded with some neat national stuff, President's Club's tickets and some other things, for being the 15 millionth fan to attend a Nats game since the relocation in 2005. Congratulations to Sarah and her family. John Buck, the hitter. In fact, we have logged, I think, thousands of hours of flight time in our booth now. We get credit for that up here. So we're experienced guys in the air.
Frequent flyer miles while doing a major league broadcast.
It's a beautiful thing. We are upgraded for life, baby. There's a swing and a foul straight back, 2-1 from John Buck. Ozzie Guillen. Sometimes managers just hang on the rail, waiting and waiting for offense. That's foul outside third, and the count's even 2-2. You'll see DeRosa near that line now these last couple of innings.
Sinker's sinking today for Ryan Matthews, and that's a good sign for the Nationals. Good run, good tail, and it's going down.
Now, 2 outs, bases empty. Does that keep you from guarding the line as much as maybe another situation?
Usually in the 8th and 9th of a 1-run game, you'll have your third baseman on the line.
All right, we'll watch where DeRosa goes next inning then. Pretty much standard position here. That's a little pop-up. And over to get it, Chad Tracy. And a great inning for Ryan Matthews. 7th inning stretch time. Pups in the park, and the Nats on top by a run. Hopefully soon the Nats will be rounding third and heading for home in this one. 1-0, bottom of the 7th coming up. Worth, Ankiel, and Nady. Good pitching matchup tomorrow. Josh Johnson, another guy who is 7-0 career against the Nats with a 3.14 ERA. And how well is Gio Gonzalez throwing the ball right now? 21 Ks, third in the National League. You might call him a hard luck 1-0 with a 2.04 ERA. He should have a couple of wins. 1:30, 1:35 first pitch after FP and I join you at the bottom of the hour. And, of course, Johnny and Ray, Nats Extra at 1 p.m. Gio and Josh tomorrow.
37 gives way to 47, who gives way to 27.
So Jordan Zimmerman Tuesday night in San Diego. Like it. Anibal Sanchez, his final inning, due to bat second in the 8th. Worth 0 for 2. Ankiel and Nady as well.
Look at all the off speed, more than the fastball, 54%.
He's really worked over the right-handed batters after getting ahead. His breaking stuff away has been unhittable. Well, every 2-0 count, it gets you hopeful about a base runner. Every base runner gets you hopeful about a run. Worth got a fastball there, but it was tailing in to the trademark of his bat, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Nationals' second best ERA in the league coming into this one, to the Phillies 2.20. Washington 2.38 coming in. Ankiel, the hero of last night's game, and Worth will duck back from a fastball upstairs. Anibal Sanchez, first 22 batters, 16 first pitch strikes. Hasn't walked anybody. And Worth gets him down the line. How far? Far enough to be a homer. 2-0 Nationals. And it's Jason Worth's first of the year. Number 1 into row number 1.
And if I remember right, Jason Worth was telling me about Anibal Sanchez that he couldn't pick him up at the old Marlins ballpark. Had nothing to do with the stuff that he had. He just couldn't see the ball off of him in Florida. You see the difference today. He said, I got your 4 for 27 right here.
How about the Nats outscoring the Marlins in this series 4-0, and 3 of them on home runs?
Gets into a 3-1 count. Beats a fastball in the inner half.
141st career homer for Worth. Rick Ankiel will bounce one out to Emilio Bonifacio for the first out.
I mean, this is what you do against a guy you haven't had success against. You get yourself into a 3-1 count. You bet fastball. You look for it in the inner half, and you're thinking, you know what? I'm going to do some damage. If he throws me a slider, a changeup, anything else, he's got me. And Jason Worth with a great at-bat right there. And we talked last night how important that second run is late in the ball game.
Oh, yeah. Here's Nady. He goes up first pitch swinging. Jose Reyes. And by the way, both home runs today caught cleanly by good defensive Nats fans in left field. So 3 of the 4 runs in this series via the long ball. And evidently the guy who hit the previous home run in the game takes off your helmet when you get to the dugout. Desmond reached over and took off Jason Worth's helmet during that celebration.
It's part of passing the baton.
I like it. So here's Ramos. Power from shortstop and right field today. Ramos is 1 for 2. But you know what? You don't get excited about 4 runs in 2 games unless you're pitching brilliantly. And that's what the Nats are doing here. Every hit is counting because of this pitching staff.
And we showed all the numbers about the Marlins' success against the Nationals in the past, and it's a new year. And when you have a staff maybe a couple of years ago, this could be a 5-2 game in favor of the Marlins, but because you have such a good staff this year, you see the difference.
Looks like Sean Burnett for the 8th inning today. Tyler Clippard had a long frame last night.
Excuse me, partner. He just got up, too.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to bring him in. If Ramos makes the last out, Matthews could stay. Coghlan, the left-hander, will lead off, but they don't have any left-handed pinch hitters. So up by 2, maybe Matthews stays.
He's on deck.
Yeah. That's the beauty, again, FP, your point, of the 2-run lead. Because even if Coghlan gets on, there's no left-handed batter to represent the tying run until Jose Reyes gets up there.
Good point. Ryan Matthews looks like he's going to use Gio Gonzalez's bat. A little S318 action. I used to use the same model.
That's got some pop in it. Out to short, Reyes. Gabby Sanchez digs it out. Jason Worth, the Nats' second leadoff homer today. It was a line drive right down the line. Enough juice to get into the first row. 2-0 Washington. game for the Nats. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. And here's Katrina. Christina, you're not a hurricane, you're a reporter with our sideline report. All yours, girl.
Thank you, Bob. As we mentioned earlier at the telecast, that Ryan Zimmerman is not playing third base tonight. He's having slight inflammation in his right shoulder. No structural damage at all, but he will be fine. Mark DeRosa is in his spot today, and, showing some signs of life in his hitting, getting a base hit in the previous inning. And Davey Johnson has not had any concern whatsoever about DeRosa heating up. He said he may be struggling the most, but I'm the least concerned about him. And what he adds to this clubhouse as a 6th or 7th coach is invaluable. He says he preaches exactly what I preach to these young players and what Rick Eckstein, the hitting coach, preaches to these young players. He's a great guy to have around, and these young guys are really smart if they hang around Mark DeRosa or when they're watching a game.
Yeah, he adds a lot to the ball club off the bench. He adds a lot when he comes into the baseball game in a spot start. But Christina is not a hurricane. She's a gator.
There you go. Chris Coughlin, 8th inning. Ryan Matthews gets ahead. Changeup, 83, drops right in. So with that big power guy on deck, important to keep Coughlin off base here. Good sinking action there, and that's unlucky. Matthews couldn't get it, slowed it down so nobody else could. Base hit for Coughlin. And here comes John Carlos Stanton.
Nice little comebacker right here. It looks like he had a chance. And Ian Desmond might have had that ball behind Ryan Matthews, but as a pitcher, you're just reacting to the ball coming at you. You don't know what's going on behind you, trying to make the play.
So Stan bats for Sanchez, who went 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 8, and the Nats got him for 2 home run swings. Stanton to short. Desmond. Great play. Espinosa stays on the bag.
Wow.
Great range, great hands. 1 out.
We've seen this from Ian Desmond all season long. Check out the range on this play. This ball is hit pretty good. Stanton with a nice swing, ball in the hole. That had a little topspin action on it, so the ball actually picked up speed. And how about Danny Espinosa on the back end, hanging tough in traffic? This is some kind of play. Pickett. 2 hands once again. Nice job. Watch Espinosa on the back end with 2 hands, and it was the bare hand that secured the baseball. If he just swings at that ball with his glove, it doesn't stick. He secured it with the bare hand. Nice play.
And the Nats want to turn Jose Reyes around to the right side. They'll bring in the left-hander Burnett. This call to the bullpen packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. and with the bat. You never know when a game-saving play is going to take place. That could have been one. It's our park, and the Phillies will be here for these series, May 4, 5, and 6. Ignite your attitude at nationals.com/tickets. Some restrictions do apply. Jose Reyes from the right side of the plate this year, facing Sean Burnett. And Reyes is only 3 for 11. Teams just aren't seeing a whole lot of left-handed pitching early. Jose is 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles today, and that's a strike on a running fastball. Reyes from the right side. Out of those 3 hits, 1 double, 1 triple. He shows bunt. Did he make an offer? No, says Phil Cuzzi down at first.
It looked to me like there was a little jab, and then he pulled the bat back. Let's see. Yep. It's a good call.
Rosa even with the bag at third. Off to the right. Strike 2.
I mean, that home run by Worth was so big. You get the leadoff single by Coghlan, and all of a sudden you're pinch hitting a guy to bunt him over in a 1-run game. In a 2-run game, you put Stanton up.
Reyes puts the ball in play softly. Danny's plate is at first. And that's just fine. You'll trade 90 feet for an out. 8th or 9th inning anytime. So 2 down with Bonifacio coming up. And from the right side of the plate, Bonifacio this year is 2 for 11, both singles. Find out why the government is turning to STG at STGinc.com. And guys with the worst average against 93-plus fastball since the beginning of last year.
Huh.
Hanley Ramirez, I would never think he'd be on that list.
Me neither.
And Brian McCann, come on, he can hit.
He can hit.
That's in there to Bonifacio, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Second base, Stanton, but the big thing is because of Worth's homer, that's not the tying run. Desmond, spectacular play this inning, such a big one. That ball drilled to right, but here comes Worth. And the Nats have shut out the Marlins now, 17 consecutive innings in this series. Washington by 2. digital age. Couple of swings just like last night, making a difference today. Anibal Sanchez follows Carlos Zambrano as the hard luck Marlins pitchers in this series, thanks to great starting pitching by Strasburg and Detweiler last night.
A couple of taters have been the story for the Nationals offense. One real far. Ian Desmond with an absolute bomb over the bullpen, and the other one far enough. They both count the same, and they're both home runs. Jason Worth checking in with his first of the year, and that's where we stand, 2-0 Nationals.
Nats have their pitcher spot due up in the bottom of the 8th, and Steve Lombardozzi will go ahead and hit. And Christina, what do you have on him?
Well, yesterday, Steve Lombardozzi received the 2011 Rawlings Gold Glove Award for his defensive excellence at second base last year in the minor league. And he had his parents out here yesterday with him to accept the award, and he actually credits his dad, who was a big leaguer at one point in time, for all of his hard work and what he's done so far. He's been such an influence in his career, and he just says every day the way he comes to work, you know, he talks to his dad every single night, whether it's about a play that happened or something he did, and his dad is always there to give him some advice. And he said he's kind of a tough critic, but you know what, it's really good to have that, and it's been a great influence on my career.
Great pedigree, and his dad was a similar player to him. Hard-working guy, play a lot of different positions. So the Nats bat in the 8th. Brad Lidge is on for the 9th with Ramirez, Morrison, and Sanchez, the do-ups, 3, 4, 5. How great would another run or two look here? Rod Lombardozzi on Ryan Webb's first pitch, right to Bonifacio. So Webb makes his 7th appearance in 6 innings, 2 runs on 4 hits. Hasn't walked anybody. 3 strikeouts, a 3 ERA. Opponents hitting under $1.90. Here's Ian Desmond.
He's a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, change. The fastball run up there in the mid-90s.
Desmond 1 for 3 with a dramatic home run last time up. So good work by Matthews and Burnett to get the Nats to this point. 4 outs for Ryan and 2 more for Sean.
That pitch is down for Ian Desmond. You're in a 1-0 count. You're thinking, I want something up. You swing at that, it's a ground ball every time.
Desmond, that was close enough. Big hop for Reyes. Look at him dig. Boy, they'd make one little glitch and Ian Desmond would have been safe. He made that a close play. 2 down.
Playing hard, he does it every day. Not a shock to us. That's the way he approaches the game. That's the one thing you can control as a player. You can't control where the ball goes off your bat. You can't control whether it's a hit or an error, but you can control how hard you run to first base every single day. It's just an attitude. With Ian Desmond, he does it. Almost beat it.
Yanni Espinosa 1 for 3 with a bunt base hit today. Today, Danny got his first career hit against Anibal Sanchez. And quickly an 0-2 count.
He's been seeing a lot of changeups today for the Marlins. Saw a number from Sanchez first couple of times up. You just saw one right there from Webb.
Breaking ball. And out to left for Morrison. Well, here we go again. Nats by 2 into the top of the 9th. Lidge against 3 good hitters.
Lidge on for the save today. It was Henry Rodriguez last night. Time for the Cholula pitching recap. But let's check out Stephen Strasburg today. It wasn't with the heat. It was with the curveball. So we'll say maybe some mild hot sauce today. Had the good hammer going. Check it out right there. Nasty 12-6. Breaking ball and a change-up to boot. So Stephen Strasburg did it with the curveball count today. He wasn't bringing the heat. He was bringing the off-speed.
And there were no Oppo tacos either.
No Oppo tacos today. All pulled.
Top of the ninth. Lidge will face Hanley Ramirez, Logan Morrison, and Gabby Sanchez. The 3 ERA, 2 out of 3 save opportunities. And Lidge in 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, unusual for him, 7 strikeouts.
A 2-pitch guy, fastball slider.
And he gets 2 out of 3 right-handed batters here.
And Davey Johnson said against teams with predominantly left-handed lineup, he likes to go with the other guy.
Swing and miss capability.
And against right-handers, he likes Lidge.
Hanley Ramirez 0 for 2 today. Strikeout, ground ball, and walk.
Base pitch fastball, and then come the sliders. There it is.
Wow.
Well, let's check out the first slider from Brad Lidge. It'll tell you how it's going to be today. And it was a good one. 85 miles an hour, looked like a strike, and broke off a table.
Nissan with their Sale a Minute event. Check it out. ChooseNissan.com or at your local dealer. And Lidge goes fastball 92.
Well, fastball's been 89-90 this year for Lidge. Occasional 91, so he's got the good heater today. A couple at 92 already.
So Hanley against Lidge, 3 for 10. He bounces 1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
In his last appearance against Houston, the save he got, I think Brad Lidge saved that game on guts. Guts and experience. He didn't panic at leadoff double. He stayed with it and got the big outs he needed to get. So sometimes experience comes in handy when you've had so many saves like Lidge has had.
Well, up by 2 now. Do you have to throw him a fastball on 3 and 2?
Absolutely. Here it is. Hit it.
Logan Morrison next, and then Gabby Sanchez. So he had him 0-2. Now the count's full. Lidge shook off a pitch or 2, and then Ramirez getting time to step out. Missed with the fastball. That's Lidge's 5th walk of the year. Now Logan Morrison suddenly represents the tying run. Nothing coming easy in the 9th inning these days. WB Mason presents Nats Extra post game. When this one's over, Johnny and Ray all set to go in left field. Let's hope Brad Lidge can turn it over to them in a hurry. Morrison base hit in the 2nd. Fly ball to left, ground ball to short. '83 on the changeup, right in there. And on a high fastball, this game is tied. A walk and a blast. Morrison's 1st of the year. Only the 3rd home run given up by the Nationals.
I'm sure if you go down there and ask Brad Lidge, it's not the home run, it's the walk to Hanley Ramirez that hurt the Nationals. Two-run game, you can give these up if they're solo shots, but if you put a guy on for free before it, that's what hurts.
Upper deck right field, a no-doubter by Morrison. And there's nobody out here in the ninth. There's Gabby Sanchez. He had Hanley Ramirez way behind in the count.
0-2.
Steven Strasburg has a possible W taken away.
Well, now you got to regroup and throw strikes. What's done is done, and as a closer, you have to find a way to get your team back in the dugout and keep it tied now.
Henry Rodriguez and Brad Lidge have walked 11 batters. That's why some of these ninth innings have been very tense. They've come through for the most part. But this is the second time Brad Lidge has lost a ninth inning lead. Count of 1-2 on Gabby Sanchez, 0 for 3 today. And that's a pitch up that he pops up. Desmond will take charge, pretty much the captain of the infield, and grabs it on the second base side.
And that's a pitch that Gabby Sanchez wants back.
Yeah, that was similar to the one Morrison hit out of the park. Tom Gorzolani, if the Nats need him. Left-handed Greg Dobbs coming in, then a right-hander John Buck. In the bottom of the ninth, DeRosa, Tracy, and Wirth 3, 4, 5. Marlins are warming up Edward Mujica and their closer Heath Bell.
They go ahead, it's Bell. It stays like this, it's Mujica.
And a slider that just misses away. 2-0. Ball 3. Crowd getting impatient. Right-handed hitter on deck, John Buck. Lidge having a hard time locating the fastball. Just took a little bit off there to get a strike.
Well, you got to be careful right here. 3-1 count leverage. Dobbs has got some pop. Got to locate a fastball if you're going to throw it, or locate a slider if you're going to throw it.
Doesn't get the call. Lead run on. 2 walks in the inning.
And now Murphy is going to pinch run for Dobbs.
Donnie Murphy at first base. John Buck 0 for 3 today. A strikeout, 2 balls in the air. And Lidge gets one in there.
And this is where, as a defense, you have to be careful. You're playing no doubles in the outfield, but a lot of times when you're playing no doubles, I mean, nothing can be hit over your head. A simple ground ball through the infield, and you got first and third.
They start the runner. The throw is a bullet, and Espinosa a little late with the tag. Ramos did not get it there on a fly, and that made it a tough play for Danny. So Murphy, who pinch runs, gets the steal.
And no throw over. I mean, Murphy comes in, he's thinking about stealing because he can run. Danny Espinosa hanging tough right there. Not too many second basemen pick that ball and hang tough with cleats coming at you. Pretty good tag. Sticking with it, and it was closer than it appeared.
Yeah, that call could have gone either way, but that bounce makes Danny's glove coming up to grab it, and then he has a hard time getting the tag back down. Ramos gets that there on a fly. It's 2 outs, bases empty. 1-1 to John Buck. And a half swing foul. Two and two.
Tom Gorzolani up in the Nats bullpen, and I'm wondering if Davey Johnson is going to go Gorzolani versus Coghlan, but if you're Ozzie Guillen, you just counter with Austin Kearns after that.
Yeah. Maybe based on how he thinks Lidge is throwing. And Gorzolani Kearns could be a better matchup. We'll find out. 2-2 pitch, and that's popped up into short left field for Xavier Nady. So here comes the decision for the manager. Coghlan base hit last time. There was just a little ground ball off the glove of Ryan Matthews.
Is he going to walk him?
Well, could walk him and force his hand to bring in a right-hander. First base is open. The run means nothing, and that's what they'll do.
And now you see what Ozzie Guillen is going to do. He's got a right-handers only, like he just said on the bench. The pitcher spot due, and there's nobody on deck for the Marlins.
He probably love to use Omar Infante, and that's who's going to come out. He's been one of their best hitters, but he's got a left groin problem and hasn't been able to start either of the first 2 games of this series, but he is off to some kind of start with the bat. Omar Infante hitting .333 with 4 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. And this is a guy who doesn't hit for power that much. He hit 7 home runs last year, 8 the year before that.
And this is just Davey playing the percentages. He wants right on right with that slider from Lidge.
The only problem the Marlins might have is if Infante has to try to beat out an infield hit. So able to swing the bat. We'll see how mobile he is with that groin problem. 2 on, 2 out, top of the 9th. Infante, first pinch hitting appearance on the year, and Lidge misses inside.
The first slider Brad Lidge threw to Hanley Ramirez was a good one. And you're thinking, well, he's got his good slider day, but after that, he's had to battle. Fastball command's been a little bit off.
Front door on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a 1-0 slider right here. Check out the pitch track. A little inside, he gets the benefit of the call.
On a pitch up, that's a fair ball, scooped up by DeRosa and to the bag. So the Marlins tie the game. DeRosa, Tracy, and Werth coming up, bottom 9.
that quickly.
Yeah, just Brad has 2 saves. He's got 2 blown saves. You know, Henry's throwing the heck out of the ball a little while. The thing about Henry is he can get away with making a mistake because he throws the ball so doggone hard. I think at some point Davey's going to have to establish one of these guys as a guy that's going to close, you know, at least the majority of the time and not flip-flop them. But Brad Lidge has 245 career saves at 85%, so he's been a pretty much a sure thing most of his career. Just really tough when you battle that long, no offense the whole game. Great pitching by Strasburg again. And, hey, but we'll just win it right here. What do you say?
That's a good idea. Let's see if Bob and FP can get this one in the books with a W. Back to you guys upstairs.
All right, Johnny. And Ray brings up a great point. FP and I happen to be talking about the very same thing during the break. And I think there's going to be a time soon here, FP, when Henry Rodriguez is going to have to pitch on consecutive days and assume that role.
Well, against teams that have pop, you like your closer to be a power guy, and you like your closer to have swing and miss stuff. And you know, with Henry Rodriguez, that's been the case so far. You know, Davey Johnson has been given opportunity to left fielders here early in the season, saying somebody take this and run, and he's also been given opportunity to a couple of guys late in the game. And I think right now with Henry Rodriguez and his 100-mile-an-hour fastball, that's hard to hit out of a ballpark. That one's hard to square up.
Edward Mujica for the Marlins here, bottom of the 9th. 5 hits, 4 runs in 6 2/3 innings. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a 5.40 ERA. DeRosa 1 for 3. And a good take by Mark to get the count in his favor.
And Mujica, 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, split. Split's probably his best pitch.
And Mark had a good rip. In the air to right. Dobbs playing, actually substitute in right field. Is that Coghlan they moved over? We'll check on the outfield here. They're playing pretty deep to begin with, and it's Chris Coghlan in right field now. Check out Nationals.com for tickets. Upcoming homestand. Nats will be back a week from Tuesday on the next homestand. Diamondbacks, Phillies.
Oh, he's thinking about ending the game right there. Chad Tracy with a big hack early in the count.
Chad Tracy 0 for 3. And quickly a count of 1-1. Emilio Bonifacio has gone to center field. That pushes Coghlan over to right after they pinch ran for Dobbs with Donnie Murphy. So he's at second. And Tracy is gone. Nats do not have a whiff of a hit since the Worth home run in the 7th.
And here he is, fresh off his first home run of the year. Got into a 3-1 count off Anibal Sanchez, a guy that he hasn't had success against in his career. You see the reaction. He knew right when he hit it, it had enough to get out of here, and it did. A good thing he hit it, or else we wouldn't be playing right now.
Mujica coming out throwing strikes. That home run by Jason Worth busted, an 0 for 10 for him since his 9-game hitting streak ended. And man, this guy's putting things on every corner out there. Wow, that's close. Great 0-2 pitch. Evidently, that was a 1-1 pitch that just missed. And Worth will pop it up and hope it gets out. It'll be close.
And it looks like after the home run that worth it his last time, they're making him beat them the other way. Everything on the outer half.
And Worth will get jammed on that one, and that's playable. Right field side. No, it's not playable. That drops on the line. 3 Marlins right there, and it's a double for Worth.
All of a sudden, this game's going to come down to not Rick Ankiel, but Xavier Nady, because I'd be surprised if Ozzie Guillen decides to pitch to Ankiel here with the 2-out double and first base open. But that ball's got to be caught. It was in the air way too long. When you're talking about battling back from a 2-0 deficit in the 9th, Ozzie Guillen rather see everybody crash into each other right here than letting that ball drop. And you knew it was trouble right off the bat. You saw Murphy looking at Coghlan, and you also saw Sanchez looking around, and that was not Gabby's play, but I think Murphy had the best chance, and this game's going to come down to Xavier Nady. There's also a guy named Adam LaRoche lurking down in that dugout somewhere, too.
The only left-handed bat the Nats have left, but it looks like they stay with Nady here. Well, 2 of those 3 guys just changed positions for this 9th inning. Coghlan from center to right, Murphy from the bench to second. Well, Xavier Nady 0 for 3 today. He has 1 homer, 1 RBI this year that helped tie a ball game. And now he'll try to win one for the Nats.
Game on. Here we go.
Great base runner out there. They play Nady around to the right, except in left field. So you can see from the defense how they want to pitch Xavier here. He goes up hacking, and Mujica grabs it. 10th inning coming up. That ball labeled for up the middle, and a 2-2 tie. As we go to the top of the 10th inning, the Nats will have a new pitcher, and they'll realign their defense as well. 2-6-0 Marlins, 2-6-0 Nats. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report returns Monday from 5 to 7. Tom Davis, Mel Antonin, Dave Johnson, Phil Wood. All the latest Nationals news and notes. Adam LaRoche comes in to play first base, so we've got him batting in the 9 spot. And Mark DeRosa will move to left field. They take Xavier Nady out. That'll be the pitcher spot number 7. And then Chad Tracy will make a move across the diamond from first base to third. Jose Reyes leads off top of the 10th against Tom Gorzolani. Reyes is 2 for 4 today, batting right-handed last time. Grounded out to second in the 8th. That swing by Logan Morrison, the first runs the Marlins scored in this series after being shut out for 17 innings. Out to short. Desmond grabs it. To LaRoche for the first out. Next up will be Emilio Bonifacio, 0 for 3 with a sacrifice. 0 for 6 in the series, on base with a walk last night.
A lot of threes right there.
And a bunt, but it's right in front of the plate. Gorzolani with the glove and then the throw, and a great stretch by Adam LaRoche. He just makes everything look so easy at first base. 2 down.
A pretty good play by Gorzolani. See LaRoche with the stretch.
He's just kind of a classic first baseman over there. Everything he does, fluid and efficient. And here's Hanley Ramirez, who in this series is 0 for 6 with 2 walks. But the walk he drew against Brad Lidge after being behind 0-2 in the 9th really set a tough tone for that inning. And a half swing, strike 2. Out of play.
And that might have been a little bit too good of an 0-2 pitch for a guy with the power of Ramirez. And Gorzolani probably wanted to bounce that pitch, left it out over the plate. But his stuff has looked far more crisp today than it did the other day, and you have to give some credit to Gorzolani the other night for just eating up some innings. You know, sometimes that goes unnoticed.
And Ramirez will drive it to right. Worth is backing up, and he is there. And a 1-2-3 top of the 10th for Gorzolani, Wilson Ramos, and then Adam LaRoche and Ian Desmond, bottom 10. Game-winning rally here in the bottom of the 10th. Even line score. This series about as even as it could be. Last night 2-4-0 Nats. Marlins 0-4-0. Wilson Ramos 1 for 3. First at bat for Adam LaRoche to follow.
Well, the way this team has been playing so far this season, you just start to wonder who the hero is going to be today.
And Mujica has really come out and fired bullets here. 27-year-old right-hander. 67 games for the Marlins last year with an ERA of under 3. Ramos will stroke one to right center. And the Nats have the winning run aboard to lead off the 10th. Take what the pitcher gives you, and that's what Wilson did. And a 2-for-4 day.
Yeah, off the end, but with the Marlins playing no doubles, as soon as he makes contact, you know it's a hit.
What do you think about no doubles with nobody on base?
It's the way you play it. You have to this late in the game, especially a guy with pop like Wilson Ramos. You play deep. Nothing can possibly be hit over your head, especially when you're the visiting team.
Adam LaRoche takes one low and inside. 293, team leading 13 RBIs.
And if you're thinking about any moves from here on out for Davey Johnson, his bench is pretty much done. The only guy he's got left is Jesus Flores. Remember, Zim's got the shoulder inflammation, so he's not available. And the last guy is Flores, and you never want to go to your second catcher, because if he gets hurt, then you're in a jam.
1 ball, 1 strike. And LaRoche will pop it up out of play left side.
Healthy hack right there.
Crowd of 26,745 today. They are playing absolutely straight away and very, very deep.
I mean, you go first to third on a ground ball through the infield.
Easy. That ball is fair to the bag. Sanchez, and the ball is off the glove of Reyes. Third base for Ramos. The winning run 90 feet away. The Nats get a huge break.
And that was a good feed by Gabby Sanchez. I didn't think it was that bad. It went off the glove of Reyes, and we've talked about it. I think we talked about it last night. Sometimes you throw that baseball, and it goes through the runner to where as a shortstop, you lose sight of it. It's right behind the runner's back who's coming at you. It comes out of nowhere, and then you just stab at it. But I bet you if you asked Gabby Sanchez, he had to do it over again, he would have just touched first base and then threw it because he was right there.
That was a high throw. Most probably the error to the first baseman. Marlins infield in. Righty-righty matchup, Ian Desmond. And the Nats have a chance to put an end to this right now.
I would walk Ian Desmond if I was Ozzie Guillen. I would load the bases.
Desmond goes up hacking.
And they give the error to Sanchez, but I guarantee you if you ask Jose Reyes, he'd be the first one to tell you he could have caught that baseball.
Well, last night it was Ankiel. Today Desmond's had a sparkling ball game. And he takes another big rip.
Boy, he got 2 cookies to start this at-bat off and fouled him straight back.
Nationals 2-1 in extra inning games this year.
Ian Desmond very good with 2 strikes of staying inside the baseball and hitting the ball to right field.
Crowd on its feet. 0-2 pitch. Runner goes at first. And down to second base, Adam LaRoche on ball one.
And that's a bunch of guys that are thinking it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when.
Desmond drives it to center field. Should be deep enough. The catch. Here comes Ramos. Nationals win.
Ian Desmond is getting abused in foul territory along the first base line. I'll tell you what, partner, Ian Desmond has been the Nationals All-Star up to this point this year. He couldn't be playing any better, and just another walk-off W for the Nats.
Washington Nationals are 12-4. And folks, this is an 8-2 homestand.
And I think for Ian Desmond in that at-bat, he took a couple of healthy swings early. And the best thing that happened to him is he got into a 2-strike count. He took a little bit out of his swing, barreled the ball up, and as soon as he makes contact, the dugout knows that this game's over.
Christina with Ian Desmond. Go ahead, guys.
All right, thank you, Bob. Another walk-off win for you guys. Ian, take me through this at-bat here to win the game.
Oh, I just wanted to get a pitch up in the zone and just put something in the air. Give the next guy a chance.
Your first home run of the season earlier on in the game. Take me through that one and what pitch you got there to knock that one out of the park.
Been pulling off a lot lately. Just wanted to get on a ball. Just keep it simple and just drop the head on something.
At least you're both in red, right? And you got to give the credit to your pitcher out there, Stephen Strasburg, getting the game going and keeping you guys in it.
Yeah, Steven did a great job again. Just trying to get runs for him and runs for the rest of our starters.
When you guys win close games like this, it says a lot about your team. What have you learned about this team so far?
We never die. I know it's early, but we're really coming with a lot of effort here and a lot of heart.
Go dry off. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
2 hours and 46 minutes for the Nats to win it in 10 for FP and Christina. Bob and the Nats do it again. They are 12-4. Tomorrow, Josh Johnson and Gio Gonzalez. The Nats will be going for a sweep. This has been a Masson presentation. Stay tuned now. Nats Extra brought to you by W.B. Mason. Coming up next, Johnny and Ray are right here at the ballpark. The Nats have done it again. It's an 8-2 homestand. And from the booth, see you later.